Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at the total market cap for the crypto market, the entire crypto market, on a weekly time frame. And look at all the nice parallel lines, channels, nice parallel channels, billions of them. So this should be pretty clear to see how price action trades in these channels. Can't see it, I will zoom in. It's pretty freaking obvious. And the spacing of these channels is very appropriate. Yeah, you can see how a lot of the wicks come right down to these channels anyway. That's where price action has been trading. And I don't need to be so zoomed in here. It's easier to see here. Where is October 13th, by the way, 2020? Right here. October 13th, 2022, that was the start of our bull market, uh, where we changed from heading down this direction to heading upwards this direction. And this FTX was a black swan anomaly, and I will show that in a second. But as you can see, really since June 13th, really, we've been trading in these channels this way, even up here. So really, this really was our bottom. This was an anomaly. But so we've been trading in these three parallel channels pretty clearly here, and currently trading in the bottom one. Um, but really, since for the past year, we've been trading in these two, up and down here, mostly in this upper one. Um, and we are about to re-enter that upper one. This light blue line is the 200 weekly moving average. You can see we're sitting right on it, on the total crypto market cap. Now on Bitcoin, we've already crossed through it. On the total three, the crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum, we have not uh, gone above it yet. Now here, this is our low between our two highs of April 2021 and November 2021. And this corresponds to the 28,800 level for Bitcoin, and that is at $1.129 trillion for the crypto market cap. And as you can see here, we are challenging that and the 200 weekly moving average, as well as the edge of this parallel channel bull flag, which is also a channel that the bull flag pattern that we've been trading in, coming down from our all-time highs. So we are about to bust through all these here. Big move, probably up to here over the course of the next few months. We're going to get that high. I'm looking over here. I'd say quickly we move back up to our May, uh, in this range right here. Where does that put us over here? Hmm. I don't know. But anyway, I was just playing around with this. Let's move on. Anyway, we're about to bust a move here. This bust a move would take us, yeah. It's hard to, but you see, this is at 1.6. Still, the top here is about around 3. So we're only, even though we'd come all the way up here, we're still only at half of our previous all-time high. I say we do come up. You know what? We do. We come up to test the top of this. I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe by the end of the year, we're up here over the course of the next few months. How much of a move is that? Let's see what that is from here up to here by the end of the year. 50% move by the end of the year for the total crypto market cap, at least. At least, I say. All right, let's move on to my next slide. This is O2 debunk the what does Calvin say? The altcoin reckoning. Reckoning. That's what he calls it. And you know, these people have these bullshit theories um, where okay, it's the narrative they want to tell you is that Bitcoin pumps and then the altcoin pumps after the altcoins pump afterwards, which is totally bullshit. They pump together. So here is 2017. I have on top the Bitcoin US dollar index on the weekly time frame, and on the bottom the Bitcoin dominance. Now, of course, in 2017, the altcoins in Ethereum were just coming out. So as you can see, as we had our bull run in 2017, Bitcoin dominance fell dramatically because the altcoins are coming out. That just makes sense. Now, at the top, at Bitcoin's top, Bitcoin dominance well, of course, continued to fall as the altcoins pumped, which is true so far, thus far. And then Bitcoin dominance grew as we entered the bear market and altcoins did bleed. Now, here, everything just kind of went sideways for a while. I got to go up to the top one here. Um, So everything just kind of went sideways here as far as dominance. I'm looking at the dominance chart, even though my cursor's on the upper panel. Sideways. Bitcoin started, dominance started increasing here again in this, as Bitcoin went upwards here, briefly. No, I'm sorry. But Bitcoin topped out and the dominance continued as so the altcoins were falling at that point. I'm getting to my point. So here, Bitcoin was increasing here, but domin- in dominance did increase a little bit, but then dominance quickly started falling here as Bitcoin was increasing. This is before right here. Bitcoin dominance is decreasing. Look on the bottom as Bitcoin is increasing from the COVID crash. That's because altcoins were outperforming Bitcoin leading up to the parabolic bull run. Now, once the bull run started, Bitcoin did outperform in, little bursts, and then it didn't, and then it did in these little bursts as Bitcoin increased from 10,000 to about 28,000. But from that point on, Bitcoin bled against the altcoins from 28,000 all the way up to 65. Okay? So, to some extent, what they're saying is true, but it's not entirely true. Okay? And here, you can see that Bitcoin's bled against the altcoins leading up to the parabolic bull run, which is what Bitcoin is about to do now. It will bleed against the altcoins over the next few months. I think it has one more burst left. So here the all-time high, you can see Bitcoin dominance fell off here, fell off big time as the altcoins kept pumping after we hit this high, and then Bitcoin pulled back. And it wasn't until Bitcoin pulled back that, well, I think the altcoins kept pumping, and then Bitcoin fell faster than the alts at this point. And anyway, it's a back and forth. So try this with these two charts and compare it yourself, because it's hard to really show everything here on the internet. So at our next all-time high, okay, so this is interesting. From this bottom up here, Bitcoin bottom, and Bitcoin started going from July of 21 up to our November. Bitcoin was increasing to our all-time high. At the start of that, altcoins were increasing. Bitcoin was bleeding against the altcoins. The altcoins were outperforming Bitcoin heading into that run. And then Bitcoin finally started outperforming at the end, but really just caught up to them, caught up to where, entered equilibrium here, which is kind of significant, actually, I'm realizing. And then into the bear market, Bitcoin outperforms. The altcoins bleed against Bitcoin as we head down into our bear market, except for during the summer, last summer. And I remember this, I was around. We had a nice rally, and Bitcoin rallied a little, but the altcoins had a significant rally here. So the altcoins outperformed Bitcoin then. So it's not all one way or the other. And then, of course, Bitcoin, well, look at this. Bitcoin bled out. Well, everything went down, but Bitcoin went down more than the altcoins here. Um, and as this, our most recent rally since uh, January, yes, Bitcoin has outperformed the altcoin market, except altcoins had a nice little run up until about March. That's when Bitcoin really took over. But here it's about to reverse, and I'll show you why here. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Um, so this, I made a video prior to this that shows Bitcoin dominance is in these upwards broadening wedges, cups, the spilling cups, I call them. So Bitcoin dominance fills this cup and then spills over. It actually spills into the second cup and then dumps. And when was this? Let's go where I know. So this is the start of our bull run here. Bitcoin dominance fell down as we headed in, as we started the run. Let's look back here. This is May to September of 2020. 2020, May to September. Yes, this was where we started the before our parabolic run, but Bitcoin was still heading upwards, similar to where we're at today, and because I believe this will start in June of next year, and that this will be our move. We're in this stage of the game. So I got interrupted. I forgot where I was, but I believe I was talking about this Bitcoin dominance chart. Um, so yeah, I was on the other screen. I was telling you. So we are in the 2. Got about 8 months till our parabolic run, and about 6 months to our 8 to 9 months to our parabolic run, and another 6 months to our halving. Um, so anyway, I think that the spilling cups fill up the cup, spill out, fill up this cup, They are ascending broadening wedges, and we spilled out here. This was, as I showed you, this was Bitcoin not dominance dropping as we headed to the parabolic run. Bitcoin dominance started upwards during the first part of the parabolic run, then dropped off as altcoins caught up and continued to drop, drop, drop. Now we're in a whole new stage here. November 2022. This is from our bottom here, filling up this spilling cup. Let me zoom in. We filled up another one here back in 2021, 2022. Filling up this one now, and it's filling into another one, similar to what we did before. We're at the same stage. We're at the same stage in the game here. This was prior to this is the halving right here, I believe. May of 2020, yeah. And then we went sideways until our parabolic run here. So the halving comes at different stages and in different cycles. But so our halving's going to come here. I believe our parabolic run will start right about here, a little bit sooner than this. But we're not discussing that now. It's a whole different story. Let's zoom in here. Anyway, we're at the same stage where we are filling up this cup, and I believe we have these. We're about as high as we're going to go on Bitcoin dominance. We may have one more little pump upwards to about 53, I believe. There is a chance we get a little bit higher. I doubt it because the altcoins are going to follow. Altcoins are oversold, and they're going to be right on Bitcoin's tail. Right around here is where we peak, I believe. And then start heading down, and then we may get a second pump up here, similar to what happened here. I believe we're starting to head down right here as altcoins catch up to Bitcoin. May get a little bit more of a pump. As you can see, the pumps that we've had in Bitcoin, like this one, only pumped us up this much. So I think maybe like if a spot ETF gets approved, it may pump us up to here. But the altcoins are ready to move, and they're way oversold. They got a lot of catching up to do, which is why dominance isn't going to go up that much before it starts spilling out of this cup here, coming down this way, and then maybe a pump as the out here. But that's way far in the future. What is this now? Nothing that we need to see. Nothing we need to see. Oh, I wanted to go over why the 13th of October was the start of the bull market. Here we are looking at the S&P 500. Right here, the week of October 10th was the bottom of the market. This is like this on every market, including ours. The only difference is that we had the FTX dump, which took us down here. So you can see here, the week of October 10th was right here. This green thing was the bottom of, well, was the start of the bull market. Our bottom was back here, really. But again, you know what? This was a black swan as well. If we didn't have this spike down here, this would have been the bottom of the market with all those things, with all those collapses going on back here that causing us to spike. This would have been the bottom of our market. subtract this out. And since then, we've been trading in this green parallel channel that I have highlighted for the most part. Road above it here. These are the channels, these upwards channels right here. This is where our trading action is going to be. This is our main trend line that goes back 13 years. And let me just zoom out on a weekly time frame and show you that. I've shown it over and over and over again, but just for clarity. Not these other fancy lines. This orange, this green line right here. There's a, you know what, I think I have a channel here drawn, but anyway, this trend line goes back to the all-time high in 2011. Oh, I have that channel extended for some reason. I must have extended it. But anyway, this green parallel channel is where we will be trading. This was January, where we started our bull run and traded in this channel, up and down in this channel. We're at the bottom of it. Our next move right here, what we're currently doing, we are going to come up to the top of this channel. That is around 36,000. I think that we will come up to around 37,000. It's consistent with support levels here. I think we'll come up to about 37,000 before we come back down. Let's zoom in. Let's go on a daily time frame. And this is very shortly. Here we are starting our new day. Where are we at? 29.9 approximately. So what we've done recently, we broke through a lot of, you know what, I'm going to go over this in another video. We've broken through a lot of resistance points. The last line of resistance is this white line here. So we are headed up here this week. Where did my other channel go? Well, that is odd. Where did all my... Oh, you know what? I think... Oh, I hid them on the daily, probably. It's trying to clean things up a little bit. Okay. Well, this makes sense. We come up... This pink line is the center line of our... the green parallel channel. Makes sense that we would come up here. Don't know exactly. We're going to be trading in this range here up until the FOMC meeting. We all know that we may bust above. I think we're going to have a breakthrough. We're going to break through this white line, come back down and test it at the FOMC meeting and move onwards and upwards, probably, more than likely, back up to the top of this green channel here. That would put us at 37,000 mid-November. That sounds about right. And if I zoom out, put this on auto. If I zoom out, essentially what we'll be doing, this is the beginning of the year, this white vertical line. So what we'll be doing heading into the next year is trading back in the upper portion of this channel here. We're going to leave the bottom portion of this channel, trade back up here, the upper portion, and then bust up into this portion of the channel as we head. We're going to just follow this purple line right here. Trade in this portion of the channel, head to our 62,000 in late February maybe, which coincides with the center line of a larger parallel channel. And right here, you can see where we had price action trading, and that would be consistent with that price action. We'll be trading up here, maybe not quite to 62, maybe 58 to 60, 58 to 62, somewhere in here. And then we'll head back down to 48,000 for the halving. I've gone over the reasoning for all this before. So if you're keeping up to date with the videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I will leave it there. Let's go back and look at SPX again, because we're trading in the same channel SPX is doing. And it's done it for, the same thing. You can draw these channels on all these things, and you can see how price action has interacted with it. It's not that difficult. All right, I'm going to leave it there. It's been long enough. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that we are expanding off of our various time frames. We did have that going on. 2-day, we're seeing expansion. The 5-day, 2-day is really, really expanded. The 5-day is starting to expand. It's at 11.11% currently. It's starting to expand, but it's done that since May. We've had these little fake outs that haven't really amounted to much. This one I think is going to be much bigger, and will continue on. It's going to drive this over the next few months. So I'll leave it there. Like, subscribe. See you next time.